BlackRock's buying XRP through Coinbase. One of the worst in crypto is finally going to jail. Meme coins are making a move. We'll talk XRP price action because we're getting stuck at the $3 mark. And yeah, Jerome's favorite report, it's just around the bend. Choo-choo what? Well, you gotta wait till the end.
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
BlackRock buying their XRP through Coinbase. That's the biggest thing floating around right now. We'll talk about that. And meme making a move coming up soon. Why? Well, because that's what's hot right now in crypto. And before we get into that, you, the viewer, matter most. That's why I share your comments at the beginning of every video. Big Dog says, oh snap, Crypto Klaus is coming through on his sled with the H-bar news. Nice, that's right. H-bar seems to be rebounding from the lows. And I'll be honest with you, H-bar players, we've seen some wild swings, which means what, everyone? Chances to make wild mini. See how I can say that correctly now? Reeling in Beasts, love the name, says Han Solo White Girl season, cannot stop laughing. For real, come on now. You know it's real. You're going to see every girl out there in those brown boots that go up to their knees. They're going to be wearing pants, and they're going to be wearing vests, just like Han Solo wore, in episode 4, as he's, going on the old Millennium Falcon. Jacob Bolin says Klaus works for Coinbase. I knew someone would do it. Jacob, it had to be you. Bitcoin, close to 112,000. ETH, 4290. What happened to the ETH move? It seemed like the bigs out there took their profits and what? Ran for the hills with the fiat in their pocket. Sold at 215 while BNB's close to 900. The meme is moving, and look, one of them is penguins. Pidgey penguins at 3 cents. But first, SHIB and PayPay rally as the Federal Reserve rate cut speculation builds. Okay, here's what's going on. Even meme in the market is starting to roar and move. Why? Yeah, because we're expecting rate cuts. The market's pricing it in. Here's the setup. The setup is this. We'll go deep in the red if we don't get rate cuts, right? If he pauses, we go in the red. If we get rate cuts, we're going to continue on the path where we're at. Simple as that. Now, altcoins as a whole have been very healthy. Check this out. Altcoin season index. This is this orange line you see here on the bottom. Pretty healthy move here over the last 90 days. In fact, we've seen since the 7th of July, we've really made a strong move. In fact, check this out. Look at all these cryptos beating BTC. Over the last 90 days, BTC up 2%. But look at all of our favorites right here. H-bar up 25% last 90 days. XRP 30%. XLM 34%. ETH 55%. Look at the penguins up 188%. Who's at the bottom? Who's one of the biggest losers out there? You know who it is. It's Picoin, everyone. Why? Because players were saying that Picoin's going to go to $100. Yeah, some people just be retarded AF. Needless to say, the majority of the market, though, is in the green, and they're beating BTC. Now, we got some good news for you. Former Celsius CEO Alex Mashinsky, the crypto herp himself, is expected to report to prison on Friday after his guilty plea. Oh, baby, I'm so happy. And guess what? I'm so happy that I put this and all my other video articles in the description down below. Alex Mashinsky is expected to schedule to surrender to federal authorities before 2 p.m. on Friday after pleading guilty and being sentenced. The U.S. District Court of the Southern District of New York recommended federal prison camp in Otisville, New York for a site for imprisonment. And this is a shame, Mashinsky, that said, guess what? Debank yourselves. That Celsius does good even when markets crash. No, they actually declared bankruptcy. Before the 2022 market meltdown, Celsius was among the largest crypto companies. Company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in July 2022 and later exited bankruptcy in 2024. By the way, Celsius, as a company, they're a Bitcoin mining company. Yeah. I want you to think about that. They went from exchange to now they are a Bitcoin miner. I brought this story up for a couple reasons. Finally, closure for a lot of people that were bent over by Mashinsky and Celsius. And number two, I want you to think about that, okay? They filed for bankruptcy in 2022. Celsius had trouble in June. I covered the story since day one. Here's the takeaway. I want you to think of how messed up the market, crypto market was in July, June of 2022. Luna, Three Arrows, Babel, you know all the big players that ran into problems. You had FTX in November and so forth. Think how much further we're ahead right now. We're in a much better place. We're in a much better position price-wise. A lot of these players aren't as cross-leveraged anymore. There's no more crypto hot potato as bad as it was. We're in a much safer place right now. So we should all collectively feel a hell of a lot better. Oh, by the way, here's the sentencing thing. 120 months to run on count 2 and 144 months to run on count 5. Both counts to run concurrently. Wah, 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 busted. All right, the big rumor is this. BlackRock is buying XRP via Coinbase custody. Oh, again, it's just a rumor. The whole BlackRock thing is just like the Swift thing. People are trying to find every big name that they can to bring up and drum up news about XRP. Now, mind you, this is not a new story, right? Everyone's saying, look, breaking, BlackRock is buying XRP. But watch what happens. See, as I scroll up here, BlackRock quietly accumulates XRP. This story was on July 15th. August, September. Wait a minute. How is it breaking news if people have already been reporting? Yeah, because people are recycling the story over and over and over. So again, it's just a rumor from all the hopium smack monkeys out there just to get your views. So no, BlackRock is not buying XRP via Coinbase custody. They're not secretly been doing this, blah, 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 blah. Everyone's like, oh my God, you're still in. You're in early, but not from... No. It's just hopium. It's just trying to get people scared to FOMO into this stuff. So you could just type this stuff in. It's easy to find, blah, blah, blah. This one is from June, where BlackRock begins to buy XRP. But I thought the breaking news is that BlackRock is buying it now. You see my point here? Yeah, so BlackRock, Swift, all that kind of stuff. They're just buzzwords out there to what? Draw you into thinking that something big is happening when it's not. Companies are going to wait to see what happens with regs. Companies are also going to wait to see what happens with what? Rate cuts. Why? Because a quarter, 50 basis points over the next 3 to 5 months saves them lots of zeros. So trust me, these players are going to wait to save lots of zeros. Volume for the crypto market still kind of soft for a Monday, $138 billion. Fear and greed, we're sitting at 42 out of 100. XRP price, look, we keep getting rejected right near this $3 mark. We got to a high of $299.19. Can't break that as of yet. Why? Well, because we're waiting for the reports. We're waiting for some jobs reports. We're waiting for some CPI action. So until that happens, or until we get some bigger economic news that's real, because think about it. If BlackRock really was buying XRP, and this news has been coming since June, July, August, September, wouldn't we not have a problem breaking through $3? You get what I'm saying, don't you? Of course you do. Volume for XRP, though, is healthy at $6 billion. We've come out of our 7-day lull, which is a nice thing. And yes, meme has come out of it as well, which means what? The market is starting to feel better. XLM is even coming out of the slump as well, up 4% last 24 hours to 37 cents. So we're starting to see the alts get a little bit more oomph. What's good about this, too, is you notice Bitcoin and ETH, they're sideways. Why? Because the market right now is looking for opportunities, and a lot of players look at BTC as expensive. They see the struggles that ETH has. ETH touches some big numbers, and then what? They get pressure from the bigs. They're looking at alts going, well, wait a minute. Are the alts getting manipulated as much? Is this an opportunity for us? So they're looking, and so are we. XRP being bought by BlackRock? No, just another hopium story. But what is a good story is us getting closer to that $3 mark. Jerome, CPI, jobs market, give us something juicy. We could use it. We've all been nice. And we don't want to wait for Christmas to get something juicy underneath the Christmas tree. So as I just showed you in the previous segment, 3 stories from 3 separate months about BlackRock secretly buying XRP. But it's breaking news and don't tell anyone. Well, if BlackRock's really buying XRP, come on now. Why is the price doing what it's doing? Come on, Boobala, don't fall for the BS. It's just that hopium machine out there trying to pump it, trying to create some FOMO in the market. Look. The market is smarter than that, and you're smarter than that. That's why you're here watching right now. Because we've seen this isn't the same market from 2022. The Luna UST crash, the Celsius, the 3 Arrows, right? The FTX. We're not the same players. We're not falling for the same hopium crap. And that's why you as a viewer matter most. And that's why I bring you all stories. And that's why I label stories as rumors that are rumors and news that actually is news. The real news is what though? We're seeing the entire market rotate to the positive, which is a good sign. Big report coming up in a few days. Bigger meeting coming up next week. Jobs reports are going to get bigger as months go on. Why? Because if unemployment keeps ticking up, we might be in some trouble. But let's stay optimistic for now. I've got the green in the background. There you go, girlfriend. And choo-choo what? Well, as it's been requested, I actually say the word. Not only will I say the word, but it's on the thing behind me. Choo-choo what? Choo-choo bitches.